everyone, and welcome back to another video of mine. For those of you who do not know, my name is Jess. I am a self-employed foot health practitioner here in the UK, and I wanted to talk to you guys today. I have 12 tips really on, setting up your foot care business. Now these are things that I wish somebody would have sat me down and, told me about all these things. Now if you guys are interested in these tips, please do get pen and paper if you want, a cup of tea, and we'll start. Okay, so number one is to make sure you have insurance. Guys, this is so important because that insurance is there to cover you. So if anybody, God forbid, makes a claim against you, your insurers are there to cover you, to support you. So make sure that you have this in place before you even start practicing. Do not practice unless you have this in place. Guys, this is so important. So usually places that train foot health practitioners, they offer insurance as well as their membership. So this should have already been explained to you once you've qualified. So the second thing that I want to mention is that once you qualify, register yourself as self-employed. Whether you choose to become a sole trader or a limited company, that's totally up to you. Do your research, speak to an accountant if that's what you need to do, but make sure that you register as a self-employed person with the tax man, because you will need to pay some tax, okay? That is just inevitable. It's what we all have to do, we all pay tax. So make sure you go online and you register, and you should receive a unique tax reference number. If you want to go down the accountant route, you just need to pass on those details to your accountant and then they can sort out the rest for you. So the third tip is to register with the ICO. So the ICO is the Information Commissioner's Office. Now this is a legal requirement. If you are found to have not registered or paid this, you could get a hefty fine. Now that is something you do not want. Now this is all to do with the Data Protection Act and also the GDPR, so it's all about data protection. So with this job, you will have details about people which is sensitive, such as their name, their email address, their addresses, their phone numbers, even photos, all that type of stuff that needs to be protected. So I will put a link in the description below so you can read up about it yourself. I think it's about £40 a year if you have less than 150 employees. Now as a sole trader, obviously you won't, so it'll probably be about £40 for you, which is just over about £3 a month, which is nothing really. So make sure that you pay that. Very, very important. So the next tip is to open up a bank account. I would not advise to use your personal bank account for your business. Separate it. I think it's important to separate it. So have a separate bank account. It doesn't have to be a business account. There are certain business accounts in certain banks and you have to pay a certain amount of money to have that account. Don't worry about that. Just open up a normal current account and a savings account, and make sure that all your money goes into those accounts and your work savings and so forth. For me, what I did was I just went to a completely different bank to my personal one, just to keep it that separate. So my next tip is to get to know a podiatrist in your area. Now we call them friendly pods, don't we? The ones that are happy to support us and for us to go to if we need advice. If there is something that we can't deal with, I think it's important for us to know a podiatrist that we can refer our clients or patients onto. So if there was something that we come across when we treat our patient or our client and we don't feel confident or we're not competent to deal with the foot problem, then it's good to know a podiatrist that we can actually give a call or send an email or a text and say, can you help me out here? Can I refer this client onto you? Or could you give me advice and things like that? It is so reassuring knowing that you have somebody that in a way is covering you. I know that it's not always that easy to find a podiatrist friend, I guess, but keep searching, try and find a podiatrist who is willing to support you. There are some really nice podiatrists out there. Right, so my next tip is kind of going back to the data protection, GDPR type of thing, and that is to, if you haven't got like a computer system and it's not electronic and you're doing paper notes, make sure you get a lockable file. This is really important because you don't want anybody to just, go into your drawer or your files and see patients' sensitive information. That will be breaching, confidentiality. So make sure that you have a lockable covered if you're going down the paper notes route. So the next tip that I have is to get a separate phone for work as well. Some people use their personal phone number for business. I don't like that at all. I don't want somebody texting me in the middle of the night or very, very early in the morning. I'd rather have a separate work phone, a separate number completely. I mean, one thing that you could do, I guess, something that I thought about is getting a phone that has 2 SIMs. You could do that. That is something I've thought about, but at the minute I have 2 separate phones and it works wonders at the moment. I know that some people say the con of that is that you're carrying around 2 phones, but if I'm not losing sleep, I don't mind. Okay, next is a card reader. A tip is to get a card reader. We're becoming a cashless society, and you know, with everything that's going on, you know, I feel like it's quite wise to get a card reader instead of receiving cash, but it is really handy. It just saves the faff of having to travel to the bank, you know, and storing the cash at home, all that type of stuff. I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like that's something that I've learned where I thought, you know, I don't want to deal with cash. So I've kind of steered my clients towards the bank transfer route. That seems to work really, really well with me, but I do carry around my card reader as well. I very rarely get people who pay me by cash now, and I'm very happy with that. Right, so this is one of the things that you want to do in the beginning, and that's get business cards, get your flyers. Now, some people don't like, you know, putting things through people's doors, going door to door and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. Once you have your clients, you can just give them to your clients and say, you know, give these to a couple of your friends or people that you know who needs foot care. So you can print these flyers out to give to your clients that you already have. And it's the same with the cards. Now I like, so I've done some leafleting before. I think I got 1 client from that. But what I found is that people do keep things like that for a long time, and then when they need you, they find your flyer and they contact you. So I feel like flyers are really good. You can leave them in certain places like cafes or in sports halls or wherever your target clientele is. You can put your leaflets and business cards there. So the next tip is something that I'm so bad at, but I'm trying to get my act together, and that is recording my mileage. So try and get a system in place. Get a little booklet that you have in your car, and then you can just write down your mileage. The thing is, if you have a car which you solely use for your business, it does make it easier. You don't have to jot it down every time you use it. But if you have a car that you share with your family, or you use that car personally as well, definitely set up a system so that you can keep an eye on your mileage, and also keep the receipts as well when it comes to buying petrol, because when it's time to submit your tax returns, then you know you can claim it back. Another tip is to set up a business page. So you can get it on Facebook, you can get it on Instagram, you can get it on the Nextdoor app. There are so many different ways for you to set up your business page. Also on Google as well, which is really good because not everybody likes to go on social media. So set up a business page so that people can find you, and you can use that page to advertise your business. Right, so this tip is something that I am still working on. It's evolving, and that is to have a business plan. Now, this is to help, you know, to really clarify where your business is going, what you want, what type of clientele you want to offer your services to, marketing, the areas that you're wanting to offer your services, so many different things, even competition in your area. It's a video that I think I probably want to do in the future, so do watch this space. If it is something that you're interested in, then please put it in the comments down below or hit the like button, and I'll definitely think about making that video because it is something that I'm working through myself. Right, guys, that is all the tips. That should have been 12 tips. I kind of lost count when I got to about tip 4. But if you enjoyed this video and it brought you some value, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and comment down below as well, because I really do appreciate those comments. It really helps me to keep going with this type of stuff. So guys, thank you so much if you watched it till the end, and I will definitely see you guys in my next video.